The Washington Building Congress is pleased to present the Craftsman Hall of Fame. This honor is in recognition of enduring commitment, exceptional skill, quality craftsmanship, and extraordinary dedication.
My name is Jose Sierra. I go by Joe.
My name is Ronnie Borza Jr. I'm an iron worker from Local 5, Washington, D.C.
My name is Richard Johnson. I grew up in Gainesville, Virginia. And I got into trade with my oldest brother. He got me the job. And me and my brother had the opportunity to work together for several years, and he got sick and passed on. And I stayed there and still doing it. He encouraged me to listen to the older guys to build my career. So that's basically what I do now, is listen to the guys that's been doing it for a while. And I hope to pass it on.
My parents, they're from Spain. Pretty much how I ended up in the United States and then in this trade was they drafted me, military service. And back in the days, it was mandatory 12 months after high school. I was able to do my military service through the Embassy of Spain in Washington area. So I decided to stay here, and that's where I got involved in the masonry. I guess it's running in my veins because my dad, he's always been a brick mason or a stone mason, and he taught me a lot of what I know.
I'm a third generation iron worker. My grandfather was an iron worker, my father and my uncle and some of my cousins. The whole family's been in the business. I remember carrying bricks and mixing mortar from my father since I was a little kid. When I came to the United States and got involved in the union, he introduced me to the company where I first started, which was Ruben and Gennaro.
Well, when I first started, all I was doing was welding. Well, not welding, but grinding. You got a big 7-inch grind, and it gets kind of heavy, and I was kind of young then. I ground a couple fingers, still got them all. But I had a few marks on them, and ground will catch you any time. You got to watch out for it. So, I was just told the guy that I was working for, I said, man, I don't think I want to do this no more. He said, oh, come on, I got better confidence in you than that. So after that, he got me into reading the drawings, and it changed me a lot. And I said, man, I might stay here. I've been here with Superior for 32 years now.
Some of the mentors that I've had in this business were family members, mainly my uncle, whom I worked on a lot of job sites with and learned a lot of stuff in this business. There was a few other guys, Dave Doolin, Bill Kessinger, and Eddie Alley, some of the older guys that I learned a lot in this business from.
Dave Evans, he was when I first started. He's no longer there, but he mentored me, and I was about ready to give up. He said, I know I got good faith in you. You can do better than this. And and he pretty much mentored me most of the way. To tell you long, he's a pretty good mentor. He's pretty good, knowledgeable in the drawings and stuff like that.
When I first started, I was a helper, and I was helping my father actually, and working with my dad gave me a lot of patience. It got to the point where I couldn't work with him. I mean, parents only mean the best for you. At the time I was 18, you don't know that. And I ended up throwing the tools, and I told my dad I couldn't. I went to the guy who was running the job, and I told him, listen, put me with the iron worker, put me with whoever you want, but I can't work with my dad anymore. And it was funny, and I think what did it, I think my dad said something in Spanish about to be a donkey, you don't need big ears. And that just made me blow up. So that was it. That was it.
I enjoy doing all of my work, what I do, but what I really like is the results after we've done a job, to see what it turned out to be.
We do hard work. It's not an easy trade. We do hard work, and we sacrifice quite a bit for it. The final product I think that's what inspires me.
You see the results of what you do. It's hard to believe. Wow, took that from a blueprint and put on steel, made it into steel, and now I see it going up. Puts a lot of confidence in me and makes me do better.
I've worked on a lot of high-profile jobs. I've worked at the Capitol, I've worked at the Pentagon. The best one I worked on was National Gallery of Art. We pretty much decladded 17,000 pieces of marble stone, weighing each at 400 pounds, and recladded the building while the building was open. Every single piece went back in the same place that it came off the building.
The Air and Space Museum at Dulles, we had numerous challenges out there with, hanging glass, no straight work. Everything was out of plumb, compound miters, and it was all in very difficult, hard to get places. A lot of slope glazing, very challenging stuff. Took a lot of planning and a lot of coordination with the other trades. The structural iron workers and the ornamental iron workers had to come together to figure out how to install the ends on the hangar and the observation towers. Very challenging work. That's probably one of the most challenging projects I've had in my career.
AIB was I think the best project we done, because we had to take the old and make it look like the modern, and that was my best job, I think, that as a company that we've done the whole 32 years that I've been there.
I know that my grandfather worked on the columns at the Kennedy Center, and there's different buildings that all different generations of my family have worked on in the Washington D.C. area, and I really enjoyed that part of it. Driving around Washington D.C. and looking at all the buildings and bridges, and I tell my daughter, it's like, I worked on that, and there's so many buildings around that I've worked on in this city, after 34 years. And you're getting old when you're redoing buildings that you did when you're an apprentice.
When I come to DC with my kids, I start, you see that stone? I did that. You see that building? I did that. And my kids already tell me, hey, Papi, did you work on that building? Did you do that? So it's work that stays there for years and years, and I'm proud of it.
I've received a call about WBC Hall of Fame. Went home and called my father, because my father's the one that got me in the business, and told him, I'd been recognized for an award. Felt very good looking back 34 years of coming into the trades and being recognized, over 3 decades later for commitment and dedication and achievement. Almost like a family award.
Never thought I would, be honored for something like this, but I guess it all pays off when you do what you need to do and do it right. I can show my daughter, my wife, and my grandchildren, and maybe they can show their grandkids and stuff coming up. This is what my grandfather done over the years of his career. It makes me feel proud.
I spoke to my dad yesterday, and I told him I was nominated to be a Hall of Famer, and I told him about the story about the donkey and the long ears, and he said, "No, don't say that. Don't say that." Old-timers from Spain, they don't express their emotions too much, but he started laughing, and just by those laughs, I knew, he was proud.
It is with great pride that we present to you the Craftsman Hall of Fame Class of 2015.